Hi folks, I just thought I'd give you a rundown on all the work I've got ahead of me, the projects, he says. All the trees in this part of the house, this part of the balcony, are here for either a trim or shaping or repotting or recovering from something or other. For instance, this beautiful old lady, look at that in the bar, isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Look at that. Had a a double blow, a spider mite attack and a short period of drought is the best way to put it. She wasn't watered over a very hot weekend. And she was as good as dead, but her mum thought it would be worthwhile giving to me to see what I could do, and it was about a year ago now, I think, and she was just starting to pick up, bless her, she's a real fighter, and she got rust on the leaves, and within a week the whole tree was covered, and she's already quite weak, but I had to take all the leaves off and treat everything, and she's come back now and she's looking beautiful, but she still has some leaves with rust on, as you can see here. And what I do when I see these is I pull the whole branch off. I don't mess about, it's just not worth it. And you can see there's a couple of spots on here, so anything that looks remotely rust like gets pulled off. Not just the individual leaf, but the whole sort of sub branch, and that will be burnt a bit later. Oh, sorry, it becomes very addictive after a while. You start looking for the branches. I'll have to go through again later today, but I just keep on pulling the leaves out that have got rust, and hoping that that will be enough to eventually clear the infection. If I see it coming back too much, then she'll have to get another spray. I really don't like using chemical sprays, but can't take any more chances with this old lady. She's been in the critical ward 2 or 3 times now, so we need to try and let her build up some strength. So I'm just letting her grow, basically, apart from pulling off the bad leaves, and we'll see what happens to her. I've had her again, maybe it's coming on for a year, yeah. And the same mum is the mum of this very poorly cherry tree. I actually had this cherry tree over a year ago to shape and trim, and we got a beautiful umbrella shape. But again, unfortunately, she went too long without water, and so many branches died. You can see some of there's a few there. Again, I've had her for a year or so. Same mum as the big lady, and I'm just letting her grow, basically, and see what happens. And the only reason I've got her here, even though she's a bit of a disaster, is that, you know, I sit in my little cave here, and I can see her, and maybe one day I'll get an idea on something that might, you know, a shape that might be suitable for her. Anyway, this beautiful Vietnamese bluebell, I'm actually looking after for a friend who's on holiday, who got it from me 2 years ago, I think. And he prefers the solid top, not the individual, you know, the clouds or steps. So I'm just looking after her. She needs all this lot pulled off and a bit of a tidy up, and this one needs a bit of a shaping as well, and possibly repotting. But as you can see, they're all in flower at the moment. I don't like them to come into flower too much, because although they look beautiful, another one, it does sap them. You know, it's the same as birds having 2, 3, 4, 5 clutches one after the other, you know, they just get weaker and weaker. But I'll let them flower once every, and leave them once every few months, you know, to full flowering, and that's what's happening now. So I'll wait until they're finished and trim as appropriate. This lovely lady as well, I sold her 3 years ago, and I'd already had her for 5 or more years before that. It's a tamarind tree, and she was completely solid. The umbrella, oh, she looked amazing. And I didn't really intend to sell her, but a guy I met, a lovely guy, fell in love with her and really pushed me. So I did sell her to him because he loves her. He loves her to bits. Unfortunately, the lass who was designated as the waterer, member of his staff, didn't water for a few days, and again a lot of the main branches died, and so he brought her to me to see if I could do anything. And he gets regular sort of what's the word, updates. Thank you, brain fart. He gets regular updates from me. He really does care for this tree. If it had been anybody else, well, I wouldn't have sold it to anybody else. And because I know he really cares for it, I know he's as upset as I am, basically. But she's coming back slowly but surely, another 6 months or so with some back budding, and she'll fill out a little bit, and she could probably go home and he could then take care of her, which he will do, I know. There's another little tamarind that I managed to grab that was sitting in an ordinary flower pot outside the front of a shop. So I offered him a very good deal for it, and he snapped it. That was a couple of years ago, and she's turning into a very, very nice bonsai. A lot of potential. Again, she needs some wiring and sorting out. And this Vietnamese bluebell, she's going to be wired and shaped into individual clouds. And these terminalia, the 2 terminalia, just need a trim and a shaping. And these are a mix of some of my Marmee and Shohin bonsai that need either shaping, wiring, repotting or trimming. I do love these tamarins, you know. I grew this one myself. This one's about 4 years old. I grew a load of them, sold many of them, but kept a couple that I really, really like. It's good fun. Good fun. And it's a Premna. Again, it was taken from a cutting. Can't really see it. Taken from a cutting. And over the last 4 years, 3-4 years, managed to get this kind of shape on her, but she needs a trim. And this belongs to a friend, and she's here for a trim. I made that pot maybe 3 or 4 years ago now, and these are the original Black Aralia trees that went with the pot when they were sold. So it's just back with me now for a little tart up and a trim. I love Black Aralia. They're not really trees per se. They're more succulents than trees, but they can be made to look like trees really easily, and they're a perfect starter tree for somebody who wants to get into bonsai, because most of it is just trimming. You can wire them to shape if you want to put a few little twists here and there, but they're very easy to look after, and they don't need a lot of light, and they don't need a lot of water, although they don't want to be dry. And you know, you can't keep it in the cellar, but you know, a bright window is more than enough for it, and keeping the soil vaguely damp is perfect. So if ever you see any Black Aralias going, grab them, particularly if they're small. They're good fun. Ah, poor cherry tree. And this, without doubt, this is one of my favourite trees. I spent a lot of time on her. She's gorgeous, isn't she? And yeah, I've just noticed, yeah, she's got a lot more flowers on there today as well, so they're all flowering. And this one is for work. And of course the jasmine. Oh, and the fig, yeah, I forgot about the fig over in there, the little banyan fig, need a bit of a top trim. And this lady, this is actually my wife's tree. Laon loves this tree. I've always been a bit dubious about it as a bonsai. Not that I'm a purist by any imagination, but it's just that for a tree that big, the trunks look incredibly thin, and it spoils it a little bit for me. But Laon loves it, and she likes me just to let it go free until it's finished flowering, and then I can trim it. She's got lots of steps, lots of clouds to make, and she does look very, very pretty when she's all trimmed and wired up, apart from those thin trunks. So I've got her here to trim and shape, and I just got an idea. I've got loads of bits of wood and stuff, and I thought maybe I could do something with a lump of wood to make her look as though she's growing around another tree, or she's part of a dead tree or something like that. So I tried quite a few different woods that I've got, and even some of the rocks, the sort of tall skyscraper-y type rocks, thinking to put it near the base somewhere, and it goes up into the tree, so it gives the impression that there's a wider base. But nothing really fitted until I came across a piece that I'd planned to work on quite some time ago, but never got round to it. And it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Let me show you this first, because originally that was the front. Let me get back here. Oof, the sun's hot. So originally that was the front, and as I've got it here for trimming and things, you know, I started playing with the bits of wood. But as I was turning her around, I mean, that looks okay as a front, you know, that can work. As I turned her around, you know, so okay, if that's the front, then what's the back like? And you look at the back and nah, that's not going to work at all, is it? So start to have a rethink about reshaping her. And then I sort of twisted her around a little bit like that, and voila, there's the front. A nice 45 degrees clockwise to bring it, and that's just perfect. And it also, that shape stays there with the back as well. So there's that's the way she's going to be. That's the new front, looking from here, this stone, this corner. So she needs repotting. I'll trim her first and then leave her for a bit to recover, and then repot her. And I've got this, as I said, let me see if I can do this one-handed. Just to give you an idea, I'll poke it up there. Yep. Get up there, get up there, get up there. No, it wasn't that way. It was, that's the way. There we go. Hang on. Get this round here. I don't know, but let me keep her up there. Stay there. But something like that, and that fills in this bottom bit. And although it's not 100% and perfect fit and everything else, I will get it closer as I repot her, obviously, and wire it in place. But I think that would look really good, and it just gives it a different feel. Gives the whole tree a different feel. So yeah, something to play with, and I'll make a video of trimming her and shaping her, and then eventually repotting her with this piece of wood stuck up the middle. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little tour. It's incredibly hot here. My phone says 33 degrees Celsius, but it will feel like 43 degrees. And I'm sitting here bare-chested, dripping, doing nothing but dripping. I love it. It's why I'm here. Oh, look at the papaya growing on our papaya tree. Oh, Lan, I like that. There's lots of them. Yeah, we've got bananas and chilies and papaya and pineapple, and we've got a lot of veggies growing that Lan looks after. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that. I shall, whoops. Oh, I've just scared the little bird. We've got, Lan loves orchids, and we have, I think 150 or so orchids. And silly sunbirds, decided to build a nest in the root of one of the orchids, right next to one of the doors, or the door that I would normally use to access this little part of the balcony, which is gated off from my grandson, so he can't do any devastation. But yeah, every time I walk anywhere near this nest, it must see my reflection in the glass and freaks out and flies off. Ah, beautiful. This is the second lot that she's had in the last couple of months. I thought they only used the nests once, but no, this is her second brood. Well, I think there's only one in there, one baby in there. Okay, have a good day, take care, look after yourselves, keep smiling, stay strong, and bye.